Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Comic Shop Talk on the Late Night Collectors community. I'm your host, Nico, and joined with me today, as always, my co-host, Chris. How you doing?
Hey, not too bad. How are you?
Good, good. I hope you guys are all enjoying the weather out there. If you're getting some good weather now, as the summer is approaching us here, or I guess it's here now at this point. Hopefully, you're not getting rained out where you're at. I know we've been getting some mixed weather, but for the most part, it's been good so far.
Well,
And
I got the AC turned on in my building.
oh
Ooh,
yeah,
hot time there the last couple of weeks.
oh you got like the cooling that they control for the actual
Yeah,
building?
like, I know something's wrong with our cooling tower or something. So
Oh,
they
great.
start heating it. And then forgot I have no balcony. I just got a little freaking tiny window and a
Yeah.
creepy sun coming in there, cooking.
I could see your windows are big. I've been there once, remember? Yeah, I could tell. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean that's the nice thing about my spot for sure. At least I got that balcony space, right? But yeah, I hope you guys are all enjoying it out there. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Uh, there's been some thoughts I've had in terms of the name of the channel lately. Maybe it's not clear to some folks through the actual logo and the name of it itself that we're a comic centric channel. So there might be changes on the horizon. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I want it to be known there that we did spin off from the Late Night Chat Network YouTube channel. Of course, we were originally on there. And then we kind of went, we went across the street there, just like a Marvel DC thing. We're like, you know what? we're gonna post up over here. We're still part of the same team, but our offices are gonna be across the street now. So we're gonna be the direct competition. As I like to say, the A content, the B channel with the A content. But yeah, no, in all seriousness, we did start out there, and then we kind of tried to separate the content in terms of the comic stuff over to another YouTube channel. But we'll see. Might be more changes on the horizon in terms of like the name or the branding, or even combining with Late Night Chat Network again. We'll see. We're just trying to catch some traction over here. So if you guys are some of the people that are checking out this show, thank you for that. And if you do know people that are into comics, you like this show here, make sure to pass it along to them. Make sure to like and subscribe, hit that thumbs up button as always. And today we're going to be talking about new comics for the week of May 22nd, 2024. And as always, spoiler warning, in case you're worried about getting your book spoiled, we are going to be getting into the details of what happened in these books today, showing off some of the art. And yeah, you can also follow us on Instagram at Late Night Collectors Community. And we usually post up like little videos of our comics that we've picked up that week. Make sure to check us out on there. Follow us to be notified when the videos go live as well. Or you can hit the notification bell. All right, Chris, that all being said.
All right, let's talk comics.
Cheers. All right. First up on the docket here today, as the X-Men stuff starts coming to a close, we got Fall of the House of X #5, which is I guess the conclusion of this miniseries, the Jerry Duggan kind of helmed miniseries, leading us to the conclusion of the Krakoa era. I think we got this, and then last issue of Rise, and then Jerry Duggan's last issue of X-Men, 35 or whatever number it is, I think, right? And which will close out this chapter of the book. What do you think of this, Chris?
I think it was an okay comic. I just think the whole pacing of this story in general has been way off. Like, it seemed like in the last few issues, like they were just sort of under the gun. There was, no way out for them. And then all of a sudden they freaking just fried, like, whatever. I think Nimrod was the big bad here, it seemed. And they just fried him like no problem.
Right.
And it just seemed to be,
well,
for a character that was so powerful.
There was different ones.
Easy way. Pardon me?
There was different Nimrods though, right? Like that is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like that's the thing. There's like the 3 Nimrods, and you think, oh, okay, even if you fried one of them, I guess they kind of had some tussles with them earlier. They tried to run him over with a van, and I guess that didn't work. But otherwise, it was okay. It's like a satisfying conclusion. There's a lot of action in here, and like you say, it was the end of the series. So a lot of things came to a head at the end. And with the Omega Sentinel, I still didn't understand how they kind of let her, just, oh yeah, I partitioned out the evil part of me. I'm good again. It's like, oh, come on, really?
Well, that might actually come back to bite them in the ass because, like you said, like Wolverine did actually point that out. Like he was actually like, I don't know why we're letting this person live, and
Yeah,
Psylocke was like, yeah, well, I mean, we see what she does to her. She does fuck her up pretty bad.
yeah,
Like she does like psionic fucking blast her in the back of the fucking head, where it's just like whatever that was deep in her head there just fucking is gone. Whatever memories or like I guess like sense of herself that she had programming, like you said, like I guess it got knocked out there. But
yeah,
can we trust that? I don't know. But like that's why I think Wolverine was like, this isn't worth taking any chances. But they were kind of just like it seemed like they outvoted him on that decision here towards the
yeah.
end, right? So
They should have both voted him. He should just killed her anyway. You know, that would have been a good Wolverine.
there's still time, right? There's still time, right? There's still got a couple of issues here of stuff to go. I liked this issue. I thought it was pretty good. Like I think again, I think we've been saying this, and I don't know if it's been universally loved in the sense that we, at least the way we've been praising it. I still think Jerry Duggan's run is the superior kind of run in the Krakoa stuff post Jonathan Hickman. As far as my money goes, I give it to him because I just think that, like, again, he's made great sense. I wasn't lost reading this as I have been some of the other miniseries that as we've been coming to a close that we've been talking about, especially things on the Karen Gillan side of stuff. I just think he does a good job of bringing story plots together that he's been kind of talking about this whole time. Character development, big moments. I feel like every time for the characters. And I thought this was a good end to this miniseries, and I'm very much looking forward to his final issue. Seeing if he kind of brings it home and is able to sum up kind of like whatever his intentions were for his run, because I think he has a good job of balancing some of the aspects of the other side of stuff that Karen Gillan's been writing as we bring this stuff to a close. I thought the art looked great in this issue. Love seeing Psylocke in action. We haven't really seen a lot of her, I feel like, at least this version of Psylocke, because this is the Asian Psylocke, and then you have the other one that's Betsy Braddock, who's like the like she's Captain Britain version, yeah, because they've actually separated themselves, because there was a time where she basically turned into this version, Betsy Braddock of Psylocke. This is Quainon or Quainon or whatever her name is, right? I forgot her name, but yeah, whatever. What's her name?
Yeah, I think it's like a Quanon or something like that.
Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, I liked this. I thought this was good. It's not. I didn't understand this whole thing with the where was this a Racco or what is this spirit? Like it was something that basically.
I'm just glad it didn't play like such a key part in this.
No, I think it's basically whatever created Racco or something they reference. Yeah, whatever that spirit thing was, but. Like you said, I think even the things that like Duggan addresses that we may not understand, he doesn't make it. So it's just like, you need to understand what's going on in this moment or else like the whole issue.
Yeah, like a lot of good things I'm glad about it. It wasn't like, Phoenix just kind of coming back from the dead and wiping them out, or that spirit of Arakko, they're all kind of lying in there with their last breath and some unknown force that you don't have no clue about. Oh, I'm the spirit of Arakko and I come here to save everybody. And that's the end of it. You're like, what the heck was that? So at least with all the heroes involved, in their fight, even though I didn't like the way they fought Nimrod, but it was still, a combination of Storm, Magneto, Polaris,
a
bunch of other characters to kind of get this all in motion.
Yeah, which I liked too. So what'd you give this out of 5?
I'll give it a 3.75.
I'll go a 4 for this one too, because I'll give it a little extra bit just because of the art too. But yeah, I think this has still been the stronger. Well, we got one more issue to go with Rise. Rise has been fine. I think the one that's what I got is really lost out of Gillen stuff was that X-Men Forever miniseries. And I think the other ones that have been coming out, like the smaller miniseries, are inconsequential to I feel like the ending of this. But yeah, this has been good and I'm looking forward to, but I think the best thing has still been the ongoing X-Men series, I think, by Duggan. But this was a nice companion during this period of time, I thought. All right, next up we got Superman 14 continuing House of Brainiac this week. The main match. You got the main man versus the Superman. The main match here, Chris. What'd you think of this?
At least they delivered the hype there. It wasn't a couple panels where they're fighting each other, and then they decide to play it by ear. So, or they kind of decide to team up again. I'm not sure if they do end up doing that at the end of this, but it's still it's always fun seeing Lobo and Superman go toe to toe, and I think it was pretty much delivered on what they promised. So can't complain about that.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I feel like as this event or crossover of these books has gone on, though, I felt like there should have been a bit more. It kind of is feeling a little lean, honestly, this story now.
I think this is all just build up for that absolute power now,
I think you're right.
And I think that's taking away from this story on its own. If this story was just kind of running on its own steam, I think it'd be a lot better. But now that, they're building up to this absolute power event, and I think this is a key, one of the key storylines to bring that into it. And, along with the Batman and I guess whatever the Amanda Waller stuff's going on. So it's not, I think it just kind of takes away from this story in general.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, that's the thing, though. I think this started off with a lot of promise, and I don't think it's bad still. I think it's a decent story. I just feel like it would have led to more interesting things, but so far, but it's not bad. I mean, I did like seeing the moments between Lobo and Superman in this, and I think that's worth the price of admission at the very least, right? And the art's good. And yeah, not bad. I then basically what happens here at the end is Brainiac creates like another female version of himself or something like that. It seems like, using a bunch of power from all the Kryptonians, and then he goes back and tries to kills like almost basically all the Zarnians other than Lobo, which he just used to help him actually get to this point. And that just backfired on them. And it looks like he actually ended up taking out majority of everyone, if not everybody, except for him at the end, as he he's standing over a bunch of bodies. But I guess there was some part of himself or something, they said, in his intellect that he wasn't able to fulfill or something. And that's what this was, whatever this.
Yeah. I had some hidden knowledge or something that he was trying to uncover.
And somehow the power, he was able to use the power from all the Kryptonians and shit there to somehow somehow create this thing out of his mind or whatever, right? I mean, that's all phony baloney comic stuff, which whatever. I mean, no, but it is.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you 100% there.
Yeah. Which is, it's fine. That's what makes you makes us like comics, right? So that's why you're just gotta roll with it sometimes. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. So what'd you give this?
I'll give it 3.75 just for the Lobo Superman battles.
Same, yeah. If not, I would have given it 3.5, but I do like the Lobo Superman stuff too. So, all right, then we got Cobra Commander number 5, the conclusion of this mini series here. Joshua Williamson and Andrea Milana on art here, as this comes to a close. And and this is now leading into our the new line. I guess the next 2 miniseries now that Duke and this one have been concluded.
Yeah, I think Joe and Scarlet.
What'd you think of this, Chris?
Well, I think once again this was more just another lead into the Destro comic, it seemed.
Sure.
The first 4 were more Cobra Commander comics. I'm just looking at that thing where he got Cobra dressed up as, I don't know what he's dressed up as there, with this trench coat on, or I think that's where he's first talking to Destro. That was okay, but I don't know. I guess I was hoping for more.
Okay, I thought it was a good conclusion of sorts. I mean, I my interest for the series did grow as it went on, but I kind of liked, if anything, I liked the switch up, the subtle switch up of an emergence of who I guess most people might know as Cobra Commander in this miniseries, because this isn't really him throughout this miniseries, at least from what you know of him or the look of him in the cartoon, right? So like it's more of that Cobra Law kind of side of stuff. But then by the end of this, like I just love how like he brings Destro, he like, you know, he gets Deathstro's help, like he gets men essentially to help him mine the energon as a result of introducing that aspect to Destro and him knowing about the Transformers and shit like that. He's like, okay, we can use this man. But I kind of liked like how he brought him to his like facility, and it's run by the scientist that he just saved from that finding him with the dreadnoughts. And then like he's like, oh yeah, this is so and so, he works for me, and he's like, help me. You know, this man is crazy or something. You know, he's like, this man is psycho. Like there's like how like he turns to one of them and like says something like that along the lines of that, where like he looks like, you know, oh yeah, this guy, he works for me, don't worry about him or whatever. You know, I kind of liked that whole part of it about how like even like Destro turns to him. He's like, we'll continue to use this man for our needs, but this man is a psycho. Destro's even like, I don't know about this guy.
That's one thing I didn't like about this, is they are sort of, at least I feel that they're inching kind of closer to the Cobra Commander that, you know, I guess the stereotypical Cobra Commander. You know, I was hoping they're going to move away from that, you know, where he's not such a bumbling moron, or, you know, everybody thinks they can take one out on him, you know, where he's more a respected leader and not, you know, not just some
buffoon. Yeah.
Some buffoon.
But I also think that the way they kind of got to this point, though, like he did show you he is a threat. Like he will kill you.
He's doing great things there, like with the dreadnought stuff.
Right. But then I think there is a comical aspect to it still that I think, like you said, follows this character around, where you couldn't help but like, and then like again, just like him changing costumes here, like I kind of liked all that. Like it kind of leaned into it, where I'm just like, you know, I don't have a lot of experience with the cartoon, but I kind of liked that part of it, where, you know, even Destro's not really too sure about this guy, and he's just like, yeah, whatever, we'll fucking work with him just because like he has this energon stuff for now. But truthfully, like even he's like, yeah, this guy's a little off his rocker. Like, and like people are just like following him out of fear, right? And then like there is the whole aspect of at the end where they hinted at that whole Cobra Law stuff. Now that they aren't in the mix, they still are in the mix, even though they're not really associated with Cobra Commander anymore, because now they seem to have found out what's going on, and they kind of want, you know, a part of this, you know, space kind of. It looks like they're going to be involved with the transform. Like this is obviously leading to a G.I. Joe versus Transformers thing. It's happening, right? It's happening before. So, I mean, obviously, I'm sure that's where it's leading eventually. So, I don't know. For me, it worked. I did like the characterization of Cobra Commander, but the story, I think, was lacking a bit. So, I'll agree with you there. Like, where it was like, yeah, this is just set up for the next thing, right? But I'm still liking all the Energon universe stuff, though. It's been
I'm still liking it. I look forward to reading that. I'm looking forward to getting the Destro stuff and Scarlet.
What'd you give this out of 5?
I guess it's been a 3.75 kind of day. The comics aren't bad, but not great so far.
Same. Yeah, 3.75 for me. All right. And then next up, I got Void Rivals here. Chris, I know you didn't check this one out. If you get the chance, it may be worth checking out, though. I'll say, just because you get like a lot more like Transformers stuff in this issue, which
nice.
I know this series has, you know, sprinkled in some fucking Transformer stuff, but it hasn't been the main focus, which I think has still been working for it. And this is taking place after the last issue, where we had this great fight between this guy, the brother, who's like some sort of like hitman AI, hitman like robot or something now. The brother of this girl that we've been the two main characters, the girl and the guy of different alien species there, alien races. She gets this guy tracks her down, and like it was her brother that I guess now is like evil, like hitman of some sort, that is like a robot, and you know, had lost his life, and now he's just like a robot. Then there was this fucking sad ass moment with this guy. I forgot his name, Zaxxon or Klaxon. I forgot his fucking name. What's his name?
No, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. the alien that we just saw in the Energon Universe special, who basically was kind of in the mix of this story that's that basically, you know, salvages, like he's the one that had a hold, I got a hold of the what was it? Like he had one of the Transformers or something at
Yeah,
one point, right?
like Texa thing or something.
Anyways, he goes home at one point. He's like, "Oh, honey, I'm home," and he walks into his apartment and like, or his home or whatever, and it's just like no one there. He's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot." And then there's like this sad ass fucking moment, like out of nowhere, and he just sat in like the dark. He's like, "Oh yeah, I guess I have nothing to come home to." I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" I was like, "Damn you, Kirkman." I was like, get out of here with this scene. I was just like, I felt so bad for this guy. I'm just like, why would you put this in here? It's just like a little 2-page thing, but it was awesome. Like, I was just like, wow, this is this is pretty good. I did not expect to be sad for this fucking guy. But yeah, so that moment happened in this issue, and then you get a huge fight. Like they come across one of these Transformers, and which one is this one here? I think he says it. I don't even know, actually. I don't even know which one this is. But anyways, he shows up, and they end up having like a big fight. Him and it looks like that guy is still alive, the brother hitman guy, robot. So they kind of duke it out, and he kind of at first is like not even paying them any mind, because he's like, look at the size of me and the size of you, like you're not a threat. And then this guy actually starts fucking him up a little bit. So that was really fun and entertaining. Good art. Good issue. You know what? The more I talk about this, I'm going to give this a 4.25. I think this is probably one of the best issues of the series so far, honestly. And then at the end, there's like some hints as to, again, like the ongoing development of the story of these two races, apparently like the secrets that exist, that they may have worked together at some point, but they're trying to bury that fact and, you know, continue this war against each other or whatever that everyone thinks is the case. You get some more kind of some information more about that part of the story. So yeah, but yeah, that weird moment of the sad alien guy coming home to nothing was sad for me. Great stuff though. Blood Hunt #2. Chris, I know you didn't end up reading this in time.
I write this down somewhere and read it.
You got to keep that in the poly bag, man. I know you didn't want to let that free. I'm such a dick. I've been taking them out of the bags. I should be picking up two issues of these. Or, you know, reading it online. So Blood Hunt #2, I still am enjoying this. I think this is pretty fun. It's a fun summer type event, I would say, or crossover for Marvel. You know, again, in terms of the Red Band edition that I read, there's not too much different things happening here in these issues. So if you're worried about not having picked up the Red Band edition for an extra $1, I think you guys are safe. Don't worry about it. But like I said, there's only like usually a scene that's a little bit more violent or more blood added to certain scenes. But yeah, this kind of just progressed the story along. You get some moments with Blade's daughter there. I think that's who she is. Dracula shows up. This is really taking advantage now of like the fact that, you know, this is the thing where they do an events where they're like, you know, hey, see this mini series to see how he came here. But I think that he's doing, Jed McKay is doing a really good job of intermingling all of these mini series and characters and moments into his main series. Like, there was a moment that got rehashed in this that you've seen basically happen in Doctor Strange when they all actually show up to the Sanctum Sanctorum. But the way that he did it was in a way where it felt like a little bit new, even though it's like kind of just rehashing the moment that you saw in that issue. So, you know, I did appreciate that, because he is writing both books. So it'd be very easy, like most people do during these events, to be like, hey, this is the exact same fucking moment again. And although it was, the way he did it, I think was well done. And yeah, you know, these dudes show up, and Dracula is basically facing off against these other vampires that are running this blood hunt stuff. Dracula is actually against whatever's happening in this event, which is kind of interesting, I think, too. I kind of may want to read that miniseries now. I don't know. His whole hand in all this is kind of interesting. But then what I didn't like was, and I didn't really get this the first issue as much as the bad guys look like those bad guys the Avengers fought in the first Jed McKay arc, which we weren't crazy about. The second half of the issue, when the Avengers showed up, just basically felt like his fucking lackluster Avengers again, which I wasn't a big fan of, to be honest with you. So the way that the second part of the issue ended, I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. This is basically Jed McKay's Avengers, where we're all gonna get these moments of them fighting the bad guys, and it just feels very, basic. But everything else going on in this event, yeah, that's the big surprise at the end of this issue. Miles Morales has turned, yeah. So he's in the Sanctum Sanctorum, and this happens. I don't know, the darkness, whatever got to him. So the art, the Happy Raw's art is fucking fantastic. But I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5. I would have given it a 3.75 or more if it wasn't for the second part of the issue with the Avengers stuff, where it just reminded me of the boring fucking arc of Jen McKay's Avengers, honestly. So it just reminded me too much of that for this event. Like, I really was hoping that he kind of, it's very similar in that sense, I will say. But there's enough other interesting things going on with different characters that it's good still. So, and then you got Rook Exodus #2. This is continuing Jeff Johns there, his Ghost Machine series. I've talked about the second issues of all of these now. And you know what? I still think Geiger is the best one out of the bunch. I do. I think it's the best one out of the bunch. This maybe I'd put second, and then maybe I'd put what's that one I talked about last week? Third, the one where he's the red coat one. Again, Jason Fabok, great artist. Looks great, this book. This read pretty fast, this issue, though, and there wasn't really a lot covered for like this whole setup that they kind of went through in the first issue, which was oversized. So it kind of left me wanting a little bit this issue, to be honest with you. It kind of just further explored like some of the creatures on this planet, or like the how it works. And basically now there's like a bunch of like these people that are being abandoned on this planet going up against one another, because as they're all trying to escape the planet, and this farmer's up against other farmers that were left there. And basically you're kind of just seeing some of the different players and alliances, and who works for who, or who is good with, he ends up running into one of his friends there, this woman who's kind of like on his side, but meanwhile, like there's a bunch of bad guys that are lining up to like take him out. So it's building the story still. I'm not completely out on this yet, because I think the arts is fantastic, and I think there is potential for a good story here. But I could have used some action in this issue. There was a bit, but not enough to like warrant, I think, like Geiger is, I mean, mind you, Geiger's had one more miniseries before this most recent one, so it does have some more stuff to go off of. This is 2 issues in. I kind of want more. I expect more from this series so far after an oversized first issue in this. So I'll give this a 3.52. It was okay, but again, that's, I think, more so for the art. I'm going to give it that rating. All right, Chris, Immortal Thor #11.
Yeah, I just picked this up because they had a variant cover that I thought would be decent. Is it Arthur Adams?
Yeah, I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that. Hold up. Oh, yeah.
The glare out there.
Angela.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so basically the story that starts out with Thor talking to Sam Wilson there, just trying to kind of move away from that Roxxon Thor story that was all happening on Earth. And I guess there's some fallout there where my Thor might be framed for the death of the Roxxon Corporation CEO, that the Minotaur guy or something. And basically just says, lay low, there's all like pressing matters to attend to in Asgard. And then it goes on to that story. So basically it's all of Odin's children there. And there's the front scene where it kind of just introduces everybody. So it's like Angela, Loki, Balder the Brave. I guess Thor's, the youngest daughter that's been old, and now she's de-aged again, and a bunch of others. And they're kind of just introducing them. And then they bring back, I guess, some older characters that I wasn't familiar with, and they're all looking for one of their missing siblings, which turns out Loki kind of magically banished them into this box dimension. And while they're in the box, things go crazy. So in this And supposedly this brother was a bit of a rogue brother, and he was up to no good. And supposedly wherever Loki sent him to, it gives him a chance almost to become worse. Like this box dimension, you put him in these magic boxes, and now I guess he's been teaming up with Oblivion, the god of doom. So it's basically just a big setup issue. That seemed to be an interesting story, but I don't think I'll be following through with it. Maybe I'll read it online. But I got to cut some lists here, and I think Thor's one of them.
What'd you give
I
this?
give it 3.5.
3.5? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, next up, you got Catwoman 65.
Catwoman 65. So it's going through the 9 lives.
Oh, yeah.
Storyline still here. She has some cat, ancient Egyptian cat god that's kind of been helping her out, giving her 9 lives, and she's been trying to do all these crazy missions, and I think this one comes to a head. That cat god comes back to her and goes, "What the heck are you doing? I didn't give you 9 lives to lose them all so quickly." And starts giving Catwoman shit. So I thought that was good.
That is good.
Some elder guy. You gotta think I'm all freaking sunshine and lollipops. I'm trying to help you out here. And this is what you do with my gifts.
Yeah.
And I think so. I think she's down maybe to her last life, and I forget what she wants to do in this one here, but it's still more adventures, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look and see what. I thought there was some sort of guest appearance here. So I think she's like some Black Ops base trying to knock, just to get out of there and get some all these artifacts that she's always chasing down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see that here.
Yeah, but as for the art, I wasn't too keen on this art. I think this was a guest artist here.
Mm.
And I guess she has to team up with Scandal again.
Oh, okay.
After that,
that's what's his name's daughter, right?
Scandal Savage, I guess.
Yeah. Scandal. Yeah.
They seem to get along too easily. There is, such good friends before, turning into vicious enemies, and now, I got a job for you. Oh, really? Okay, let's talk.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Still nice covers. And, I'm still following the storyline, but we'll see when this storyline ends, what this next arc looks like. When this might be on the chopping block too.
Okay.
3.5.
Okay. Next up, we got Local Man number 10.
Ooh. I got a copy of this one here somewhere. There it is. There's like a double cover because that's on the first side there, the one you have.
Yeah.
And then when you flip it over and upside down, they have this Local Man.
Oh, nice.
Cover on the back. So
That's
I only read this one through the issue. I didn't read this online.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like 2 stories. Once you finish one, then you got to flip the comic around and read the other story. I don't know if that came through on online. But yeah, I thought it was a good issue. It's a little fallout from what happened there, and everybody did a Local Man shit, and it's fun to watch. I guess he's at the funeral for his father, and everybody's like talking to his mother.
That was my favorite.
I feel bad for you. It's like, screw you, Local Man. And it's everybody doing it.
The best is that Uber driver guy that he made friends with. He's like,
yeah.
His cross jack. He's like, hey, listen, I know we're cool, man, but I know people here. So
I got to do this. I got to save face.
That was fun.
Yeah, and then I guess he's on the run there, or he's trying to lay low wherever he is. And I guess there's strange things are afoot back in town. I guess it looks like some cults trying to move in there. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
This is a comic I do want to buy just because it's always been a good comic. I think this is the first issue I bought. But frick, I don't know what happened last week. It just seemed to be a giant freaking pull list, and I don't know. I got to cut somewhere. I think I can't be buying all these comics all the time.
I really like this. I just really like this series. This continues to be good. Yeah, whenever it comes out, it always kind of exceeds my expectations, honestly.
Yeah. And it's for like a nothing. I don't want to say a nothing story, but it's not like big things are happening in here all the time. It's just good story.
Well written, yeah, and it's interesting, and I can never really tell where it's going because, like you said, like now he's having this whole like arc where he's like He's out there feeling sorry for himself because he let everybody down and his father died and everyone hates him. So he's like living on the lam there with one of the other superheroes that he used to have sex with. That was his
That's funny too. That when he was wherever he was hiding out, he was, oh, maybe we should, share the same bed.
Yeah. She's
He's
bending
not a good person.
She's bending over doing yoga in front of him, and he's like, I need to get out of here. Yeah, man, it's just funny. Yeah, he is not a great person, so that's what I mean. But like, he's trying, like he's constantly trying to do better, but he just keeps fucking up. And now because of like his whole trip that he just had with the drugs in those last couple of issues, he thinks that he's misunderstood the way his power works this whole time. So like he's convinced that it's supposed to lead him to people and things that he's supposed to help instead of like prevent like things from helping. So it's really it's interesting. It is a really good story. I don't know what it is, like you said. Like I just think it's like it's always good. It is consistently enjoyable, and whether I think you're reading this in issues sorry, or you picking up the collections, I think it's worth checking out because I've been reading this digitally and then I've been picking up the paperbacks just because I think it's worth revisiting. It's a pretty good story. And now he's gone back to his town here by the end of this issue, and something fucking weird is going on in the town. Like, seems like everybody's controlled or something like that. Something's happening where they, that doesn't seem like anyone's in control of their own thoughts. Or something like it's some sort of a hold, I think, is gone over the town, and the woman that he again was banging, that guy's wife, who turns out to be a bad person, is alive but tied up in the basement at the end of this issue. So I don't know what the hell's going on there. So I guess we'll find out. But what'd you give this?
Yeah, I'll give this a 4, no problem.
Same. Yeah, 4 out of 5. All right, Sensational She-Hulk number 8, Chris.
Once again, I bought this cover blind. It was one of the black costume variants.
Okay, check that out.
And once again, it's okay cover, but She-Hulk's had really good covers, so I was expecting a little more because I didn't see the cover when I got this, but it's decent. And the story here is still following, I guess, She-Hulk's trip to, I don't know, whatever, the Cloud City or wherever she went to, and she's having, I guess, a girl fight there with, I think it's Gamma Meat or something like that, and supposedly Jack of Hearts, promised his heart to her before they met, and so they kind of come to blows there. And then finally, Jack of Hearts, he pulls off this, I guess, his ex-girlfriend, whatever, and says, "Listen, hey, you're working for the wrong guys." And it didn't really take much to convince her that, okay, the guy you're working for is, it's like a terrorist or a drug lord terrorist of space or something. So she believes him, and then like enemy just on her own freaking takes out that whole drug whatever terrorist cell, whatever is going on in that Cloud City. And then she says, "Okay, well, let's go, Jack." And Jack walks away with her, and then you get all the sad moments for She-Hulk. She thinks she's been abandoned, and lo and behold, someone knocking on the door. She just thinks it's their chicken tenders. And it turns out to be him, and then they have their exchange. "Oh, you're good, you're great, I love you, I scare you, you scare me, blah, blah, blah." And, they seem to be in it for the long haul. And then back on Earth, I guess Patsy Walker has a standing Wednesday date there with Jennifer Walters, or it's Jen Walters, right?
Yeah.
Is that Jennifer Walters, like from 60 Minutes? Oh, that's Barbara Walters.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the side story.
They're related.
When she shows up there, and she's like, "Look, I'm looking to go out," and I forget what that big head's name is, but then she sees the other guy that's built like a brick house, and he goes, "Ooh, well, guys, put on some clothes. We're going out."
I love that guy. He's such a dick.
I guess we have like a cake date or something, and she goes, "Do you guys like cake?" And he's all, "Who doesn't like cake?" And
he's like, "What's wrong with you?" Who doesn't like? I love those guys. No, no, it's their fancy dress day or whatever they do, right? That's what they do. They wear fancy dresses and they go eat cake, right, once a week. So Yeah, listen, yes, it's kind of it is basically a romance comic at this point, I would say, but
Yeah.
it's charming. I like it. I think it's good. It's well done. I think I do care about this character. I care about, hopefully she finds some love with this guy, even though I think he's a bum, but she's somewhat, for whatever reason, she loves him. I mean, she just said it in this issue for the first time. So I hope it works out for them, but yeah, it's interesting. I do enjoy it. Whatever. It's a nice palate cleanser compared to everything else that I read. It's different than I feel like all the other. It's like it's unique, I think, in the sense that the tone that they're going for a superhero comic is not what you would expect. But
Yeah.
there's some funny moments. It has good art usually. You know what I mean? It's better, I feel like, than what it seems like. If it's
If
not.
this is poorly written, this could be so bad.
Yes.
But it's not. It's like I say, I shouldn't like it, but I do.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it's good. What'd you give this out of 5?
No, I give it a 3.75. I was going to give this a 3.5, but I think we just got bumped up there.
Yeah, 3.75 out of 5. All right, then we got Wonder Woman 9 here this week.
Ooh.
Great cover. The A cover.
I went with the variant one here.
Oh, let's take a look. Oh, that's a good one too.
I got her wearing pants, so I guess that's rare.
Yeah, it is. What'd you think of this?
This one, if I think this is the right one, but this one was kind of wacky.
Yeah,
She's kind of going through her challenges.
Yeah.
And I guess this was all just mental battling with her.
Yeah.
You're kind of wondering how this was all going on in her head, I imagine, right?
Yes, and again, this is one of those examples of when I was reading the comic where I'm like, oh, Chris is not gonna like this. It was well done, but it's not my favorite thing. Like trope, like I hate this type of shit where it's just like, it's like a dream sequence to me. I hate fucking dream sequences when they go on too long, and this is basically her doing mental fucking gymnastics here. She's trying to like
mental gymnastics and just try and survive whatever she's going through.
Yes.
It seems like she's been under lock and key and she has no idea what time or how much time has gone on. And whereas in She-Hulk, I guess a good story writing saving the comic. I think here great art is saving this comic. At least maybe not this comic in general, but this issue specifically.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The last 3 or 4 issues have almost all been the same, except it's just different forms of torture. Like, first she's battling, I think she's going to lose, then she breaks free. Then the one where she had those, the lasso of lies wrapped around her.
Yeah.
And, this one here is sort of a mental battle. And I guess the big takeaway from this one is that, she's always asking, or Steve is always asking, why, how am I here? Why am I here? And then she goes, oh, that's part of your, when you love someone, you take a piece of them, and that's the piece of you that's in her head. So that was nice. But then I did like it when it just, when the freaking the dream is ended or the mirage is taken away. You just see her freaking, she's all bloodied and chained up. And
well, she ate a fucking rat. That's the fucking thing that happened because she's lost track of time essentially that she's been spending in this fake fucking scenario that she's built up in her mind that she's trying to like. And at this point,
place, let's say,
right. And I thought the last issue was much more interesting because like it was her like the shit that she was fighting against was that whole scenario where she was like a housewife and like, you know what I mean? It was and meanwhile you saw like how she was physically getting tortured outside of her mental shit. But then this issue, like you said, it was just a bunch of like a lot of great looking splash pages, like you said.
And they would just jump from scene to scene, and like it's kind of left you confused. But then I guess at the end, it's like, okay, well, that's what it was.
Again, just like She-Hulk, I feel like if in someone else's hands, like not Tom King, who was a great writer and an artist, like Danielle St. Pierre, who's been doing a great job on this series, I think this would have been a lot shittier of an issue.
Yeah.
It was well done, but it's still not my favorite type of like thing that goes on in like these stories sometimes. But I did like the idea that she's lost though all sense of herself and time. And at this point, she's kind of just like leaning in with the fake scenario. And the one thing that stuck out to me, I thought that was really great, was there's this moment where the fake Steve Trevor in her head, like she's like, that's it, I give up, I'm just gonna give in to this guy, whatever the fuck he wants. And she's like, I'm not Clark, I'm not Bruce. And he's like, yeah, you're not, that's right, you're better than them, right? Like I kind of I liked that moment of him like saying that, like you know, that she knows herself well enough to like know that she can, you know, she can, even in her weakest, she's like, you know, trying to convince.
She almost was broken there, but then at the end, basically, she's asking what's next.
Yeah,
the way they got to it with all this, hokey baloney stuff. I guess they're trying to pick all these scenes, but I didn't mind it at all while I was reading it. I thought it was okay.
And then she ate the rat. That's the most fucked up part.
And then she's friends with the rats after.
And then the rat starts talking to her. Like the rat feels sorry for her.
Yeah, I thought actually, now you talk, but there is some great writing where the rat was feeling sorry for her, and that kind of just puts her in a place almost.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's I think she eat it's the child that comes out, the rat child, right? Didn't she eat its mother or father or something like that?
I know.
Right?
Yeah, whoever that rat is, it was.
Yeah.
She says, that's the rat's husband or wife or something. And
come on, let's talk about the cutesy story at the end, though, where they turn into corgis. Chris, I know this is your favorite part.
Jackpot here. This is so me. This is pushing it to a 5.
Guys, if you're a big fan of corgis, Superman and fucking Batman, or Damian and Jonathan, turn into the Batman and Superman of the future there in the Trinity story backup. They they turn into corgis for a day.
That's just silly fun, and
yeah, it's fine.
It's not the worst thing either. That's okay.
People love corgis, man. Those corgi butts. People love it. What did you give this, Chris?
I did like it, so I'll still give it a 4.25.
Wow, that's more than I was gonna give it. Yeah,
I started talking about some of those scenes there, like the rat there, and that wasn't, like I said, this could have been so bad.
I agree. It's still not my favorite thing, though. I think I've been enjoying. Listen, I gave the last 2 issues actually my favorite of the week. I was actually checking some of the stats here the other day because I've been actually trying to keep track this year, and I gave the last 2 issues. I think I gave my favorite of the week. So we'll see, but I got to give this a 3.75 out of 5. I still not my favorite approach to a story, but this has been a great story so far, and I don't want to take anything away from it. I think it's still, like you said, was good. Like, I'm not saying like 3.75 is not a bad rating. It's just I usually give this like 4.25, 4.5. I just don't love the fucking mental fucking shit that goes on sometimes as an approach to a story. But anyways, next up we got Batman Superman World's Finest number 27. You didn't read this, right?
No.
So I remember we both kind of had the same reaction where we're just like, we were really looking forward to this story. You so much that I think you jumped off the book. But we did read the last issue where they set up this kind of thing with the Mixoplick universe, Batman, or like other characters essentially that came from his universe here. And now like all of them are coming into the mix. Like they're all the bad guys versions of these characters, and everything else now have come into their world. And this, as annoying as the setup for this story seemed like it was going to be, I think it was like originally in an annual, and then it kind of went into the main series. The actual story itself hasn't been bad. That's the best thing I can say about this. It's not being as bad as I thought it was going to be. That being said, it's fine. It's not my favorite thing still, but there was some fun moments in this. I think the art's still very good because, of course, it's Dan Mora drawing it, and it's okay. It's not as would I rather a different type of story probably. But that being said, I was dreading this, and it's actually not all that bad. It's not as cutesy or stupid as I thought it was going to be. There's some big stakes happening here, and there's a lot of interesting different characters that are in the mix as well, other than these guys from this dimension. And, let's not forget the mixoplic kind of dimension people are powerful, right? Like they are, like, because, they are from another dimension. And there's actually other references to other dimensions in this issue. I think it's the fifth dimension or something, where they basically become like 2D, like they lose all their 3D aspects to themselves. So Batman and Superman end up going into that dimension in this issue. So they basically just become like super friend looking, like kind of 2D at like cell animation type of like old DC cartoon style guys, it looks like. So that's kind of fun. That happens in this issue. So yeah, it's not bad. I'm having fun with it. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's not the worst either. Far from it.
Yeah, that annual just killed me though. Maybe I'm jumped up soon, but
yeah, annual was bad. Yeah, I agree there. So I give this a 3.5 out of 5. I'll give it.
nice.
Then you got Titans 11. Still just reading this digitally. And this was an issue talking about a girl that wanted to be a Titan when she grew up, and then like she like trained hard to try to be a superhero, and then when she did get accepted, at least right, like one of these like type of like, I don't know if it's like Amanda Waller's people or like some sort of like government kind of lab or facility of some sort, they take her in, and then basically what happens is she ends up getting hurt, and they just put her brainwaves into like a robot. So she's like she basically then like loses, like, she would have been dead if not for this, but they go out of their way to actually save her, but yet they do this thing to her that's fucked up, where it's just like now she's not living anymore. She's just like in a fucking AI now. So this ends up happening to her, and now in this issue they use her to go up against the Titans essentially. And they kind of brainwashed her into thinking like they're the bad guys, even though she idolized the Titans growing up. And so there's that whole thing, that old chestnut of a of a story. I feel like we've seen before. It was okay. There's still that whole thing going on with what's her name there,
Raven and Trigon.
Yeah, exactly. That I don't know why there was this whole different story that he went off and told in this issue to kind of bring that character into the story in the mix, but I don't know, we'll see how it plays out. I give this it was okay. I give it a 3.25 out of 5. And then Nightwing 114, Chris.
Yeah, I think I was looking through this, and I think maybe I did not read this one.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, well I can continue then.
Yeah,
no problem. So this is the start of the Fallen Grayson story. The last story arc that Tom Taylor is doing on this title is a really good start. I thought I'm glad they're finally getting away from that whole fucking pirate story, and they kind of depart from that with the quickness in this issue. And it does look like he's going to be setting up a proper last story for him. It opens up with him talking about him in the circus and how he fought, again, yes, it's kind of stupid, but currently he can't jump or something. He's afraid to leap.
Yeah, he's like afraid of heights or something like that.
Yeah, which is basically one of the biggest parts of his characteristics, like what makes him who he is in terms of him being from the circus and everything else. So it's really taken him down a peg, let's say. And, and you start off the issue kind of showing him when he first learned to climb and do shit in the circus, and his first attempt going up, he fell off and injured himself very fucking badly. So they talk about that, and then you cut to him on top of a mountain after that, where I guess he's climbing this mountain trying to like get over his fear or whatever of the heights that he's been experiencing here. He's with his dog. But then from there, and I guess this is where it's going to lead to at the end of the story. I'm guessing this is after whatever happens in the main story, this scene of him climbing the mountain. But then they cut back to basically what's happening with this whole Heartless situation. And you see that coming to a head here, where it's just like he is now running crime, and he's gone over to Gotham, and he's trying to fucking take this guy down. And you see Heartless take out one of his goons there, as he's trying to hire on a bunch of new people to work for him to basically scare them. He does this fucked up thing where he gets everybody in the same room, And then you're like, why would we come work for you? And he's like, oh, well, because I have all your children. And he like opens up like a fucking like a thing, and they're all behind the glass there, all of his, they're the kids, and one of the guys that steps up to him because he's like, what the fuck, like he's like, that's my daughter in there, like he kills him, takes his heart out of his chest, and he's like, well, listen, I'm not gonna hurt any of your kids, but if any of you try to test me like this guy did, I'm just gonna kill you in front of your kids. So I kind of liked it. This villain I kind of dig, like he's kind of fucked up, this guy. As stupid as the just removing people's hearts is, but it's kind of fun. It's that old comic book stupidness that we were talking about. But yeah, so that's kind of fun. And then there's a whole scene where he goes and he thinks he's dealing with crime because shit's all popping off now with this heartless stuff in the streets. And he stops like a criminal on the way to his ball there because they're trying to raise money as part of this his organization now that he does with the money that Alfred left him, that Bruce has been helping him with. So he tries to stop somebody in the streets, and he looks like he's going to pull a weapon out, and he knocks him out, and it turns out all he was stealing was a rotisserie fucking chicken from the grocery store. And he's like, oh, what the fuck? He's like, and then like really it kind of spoke to, you know, when we work problems that are going on in the world today as grocery prices are skyrocketing. This guy's just trying to feed himself, and he's just like, and he feels like a piece of garbage after he does it. He's like, oh, what the fuck? What am I doing, man? Like, I think this guy's just trying to eat, right? So like, he's like, I got to do right more by people. He's like, so again, this is about him trying to do better for, you know, for Gotham, and for what do you call it? Where the fuck is he from again?
Yeah,
Bloodhaven, yeah. So, anyways, they do the Alfred Pennyworth Foundation bit, and then there's a great scene where he sees Heartless, and they finally reference the fact that this is a guy that he knew in his childhood, who he mentions to Damien after he seems like a rich, stuck-up, pompous piece of shit. He's like, oh, this fucking guy. He's like, well, you'd be happy to know I punched this guy. Like, I broke his nose or something when we were younger. And Damien's like, ah, nice. That's awesome. Right. So I kind of like that little moment of them trying to act like they're their real life selves, even though, you know, he doesn't know that he's heartless at this point. So then by the end of it, though, the fire alarm goes off, all the sprinklers go, and there's some shit going down at the actual Pennyworth kind of like fundraising event that they have here. So yeah, it's starting off interesting. It looks like it's gonna be a final showdown between him and Heartless, and hopefully he'll overcome whatever the fuck's going on. I think Bruno Redondo is back on art for the final arc, which is great. So yeah, I give this a 4.25. I did quite enjoy it this week. I was a big fan of this series, and I'm looking forward to him sticking the landing, hopefully. All right, Chris. Amazing Spider-Man number 50. They got the Greg Capullo variant this week.
I missed out on that. I just went on the A cover.
That's a nice one too, though. Yeah, I do like that one. Yeah, but go ahead. This is this oversized issue, Legacy number 944. What'd you think?
I was hoping for more. I did like it though. I love the art though. The art was freaking insane inside here.
Yeah.
This was something you just hadn't seen for a long time. And you know, I guess
Ed McGuinness.
I guess he's trying to bring back a whole bunch of stories though, and the story with the return of the Green Goblin. You know, I thought that would come with more of a suspense or more, I don't know, more pizzazz or panache or something. But basically, he's just standing in the room there, and the living brain has some sort of like secret message or something that almost gets Norman Osborn to reveal himself. Like he starts saying, "Oh, it told me these, whatever these keywords," and he says two of them, and then the Gold Goblin costume pops open, and then he says one more, and then freaking another one pops open, and then there's the Green Goblin costume there. And actually, now that I think about it, now I start remembering this. This wasn't such a bad issue. It started out cheesy, I think, bad, or it started out where I didn't like it. And then, he gets gas, so Spider-Man loses his powers or something like that. But, when Spider-Man does kind of have his say in here, he does have a lot to say, and he says it well. And, it just makes it made everything that kind of happened with, I remember we were talking about, oh, how could Peter even, work for whatever Oscorp, or, accept his help? Why would he even be there, kind of befriend him like this?
Yes.
And basically this issue here explains it all. And then you get all this good stuff. And then somehow, I forget how he gets it, but then Peter Parker turns into the Goblin, and Norman Osborn is saying that he's had some, that this has been a work in progress as well, because they refer to some scenes that Peter Parker forgets doing things, and that's because he was under the influence of the Goblin at the time.
Yeah.
So, hey, we'll see where things go here. It wasn't a bad story.
Yeah, I really loved this, actually. I thought this was a great issue, honestly. And we did finally get the whole, development with the Green Goblin returning here that's been hinted at and kind of in the background for the last little while there. I love the idea of those words, with the sliding doors opening up with the one costume. And I didn't realize he didn't know he was the Gold Goblin. I forgot. I didn't realize that.
I knew he was the Gold Goblin.
What's that?
I thought Peter knew he was the Gold Goblin.
No,
Weren't they together the whole time?
Apparently, and the way he said it in here was like he didn't know. He was like, "Oh, I'm the Gold Goblin," and like he's like, "Yeah, that's right." It's maybe he didn't. I don't know. And then yeah, like you said, 2 seconds later, the other door slides. So he's like, "Oh," but like you said, I think it was great for the fact that, again, we've seen so many times Peter fall into his trap, where in this time he was finally like, you think I didn't fucking know? I wasn't thinking 10 steps ahead of all this shit. Why do you think I want to work
here? I didn't see this coming. I knew this, like everybody knew it was coming. And he's like, I knew it was coming.
Yeah, I love that. I was like, for once, I'm like, okay, thank you. Because like, so many fucking times we've seen him betrayed and fooled and everything else. This time he was like, no, that's the main reason I've been fucking working here, is to keep an eye on you. I knew you were going to flip at some point, and I'm ready for it. Here we are. Right. And then like they continue to one up each other back and forth throughout this issue after that. Right. Which I thought was awesome, which all leads up to this fucking crescendo of him getting this, basically this Batman fucking killing joke, fucking Joker, like him turning into the Green Goblin moment, which I thought was pretty awesome too, right? After some great action and some great art by Ed McGuinness, who just killed it. And
he killed it with the Green Goblin and just
absolutely
everything there. Yeah.
And the whole Living Brain kind of storyline that he's been continuing throughout this series has been really fun and interesting as well, actually.
Yeah, because that Brain is up to something to try and, because that message he put out, Peter Parker isn't Spider-Man. And then I guess at the end, I guess he knew what was going on. Because I guess he's the Green Goblin. And, I'm going to see, I'm excited to see where this goes.
Same. I think the last few issues, whatever's been going on in this series lately, I think has been great again. So I'm, there was a couple arcs there I know we weren't huge fans of, but I have high hopes for to see where this story goes now. Between this and the Sinister Six stuff that's been going on, I'm really looking forward to see what happens next. I think it's just we're venturing into what seems like some classic Spider-Man territory, honestly. And then you got the whole Kraven's Last Hunt shit that's going on in here. That's like kind of giving me those type of vibes with the whole spear aspect and Kraven and everything else, right? So that's all been interesting. And you know what? The backup stories actually weren't bad in this issue either. I thought they were some good backup stories, some good art. Black Cat story, of course, with the Dodsons, which always is great artist for that. And then this one was okay with him and this fucking this one was
Mother.
Yeah, this one was all right. This was weird. This was just weird art and weird story. I thought like a very unique kind of like artist. I think that they brought on for this one. That was all right. I think the Black Cat one is probably my favorite. Then there's this weird fucking one, which I thought with Juan Ferreira art, which I'm a big fan of. I like his stuff, But this was just some weird fucking story where like Doctor Strange, you're supposed to feel sorry for him. It seemed like he's just like, I take it all on Peter, all this shit. And he's like all fucked up, and he's like, no one cares about how I'm doing. And he's like, oh, how you doing, Doc? He's like, I'm okay. I was just like, he almost like cries. It was weird. I was like, oh, okay, I get it, Doc. I'm like, Doctor Strange, you know, he takes on a lot. We get it. But yeah, otherwise, there was a pretty good fucking issue, man. I liked it a lot. I think it was, you know, good, good art, good art, good art, good story. Sorry, man. What'd you give this, Chris?
Yeah, I'll give this 4.25.
I'll give it a 4.5. Good stuff.
Yeah,
good
let's
stuff.
flirt with 4.5.
All right. So that's going to do it for the books we wanted to talk about this week before I hack up another lung here. I don't know what's going on. Just getting over a cold. Let's too much talking for me. That's what's happening. Let's look at the Marvel 2024 August solicitations here, guys. Let me just bring that up here.
Some nice covers this month or in August coming up.
Is there? Yeah. Nice. All right. Let me just bring that up for you guys. We'll take a look here. And shout out to comicreleases.com, the website that we use to show this list. It's on the show here. No affiliation with them, but it is the site that we use regardless. We like the site. So shout out.
They did with if this is your first time looking at it, the way they partition it again.
Oh, they did the same thing they did with DC, eh? Not a fan of that so much again, but okay. Here we go. So single issues for Marvel, Uncanny X-Men #1. This is from the Ashes, the new basically X-Men direction here. Post Krakoa, we got the From the Ashes era here. Uncanny X-Men #1, Gail Simone, David Marquez. What do you think, Chris?
I'll probably buy it, but I don't know. Nothing's really excited me from what I've heard.
Me neither, but this is a good fucking team. So, I mean, even I like David Marquez. Gail Simone, I don't always love everything she does. That's what's got me worried, to be honest with you. She is a fan. Like, there's a lot of people that like her stuff. I'm in the minority, I think, when it comes to that. This is a good team, though. I mean, I don't know. Good covers, good team. So, yeah, you might get me on for the first couple of issues, actually.
Yeah, definitely be there for the first issues.
Look at this Rogue cover. That's a nice one. What are you thinking for cover?
I'll probably just get the A cover.
This one's good. I like this. You this one? You like this one the most?
No, I'll just see what's out there. Like, let them really jump on me.
All right. Next up, we got Wolverine Revenge #1. This is oh man, I'm so looking forward to this. This is the Jonathan Hickman, Greg Capullo Wolverine miniseries. As Hickman just continues to do smaller projects with Marvel, I'm happy about it. Capullo on fucking Wolverine, though, that is what's exciting me the most here. Well, how about you, Chris? You in?
Yeah, definitely down for this.
Look at this fucking cover.
Like Red Bandit too.
Oh yeah, they do have a red band for this one. Yeah, fuck. Like they got me on that. This is the cover, though. This is the cover you got to go for right here. Sick. All day, every day. Yeah, here we go. The red band edition. Yeah. Oh, he's even bloodier on the cover there. All right. Then you got X Factor #1. I'm in on this one. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think the result's good.
I like the creative team. I do like X Factor as a concept. So I'm in on this one for sure. Then we got X-Men #2. Yes. Holy, look at this magic cover.
Oh, there's the one there.
J. Scott Campbell magic cover. And this is a regular one, or?
So.
Yep. That's the one for sure. Nice cover. Yeah. I'm excited for this series, though. X-Men 2 and 3. It looks like this one's double shipping. I just hope fucking Jed McKay does a better job than he did on Avengers, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you got a Greg Land Psylocke cover. Man, they're killing it on the covers this month. You weren't kidding. This Mahmoud Asrar cover, though, is also pretty sick. I like this a lot, too. All right. We'll see. Then you got Stegman cover. Damn, there's a lot of good covers for these X-Men books.
I don't want to be buying fucking multiple issues.
I know. Jeez. Avengers 17. No,
Yeah, Storm's joining the team. They're really pushing Storm here a lot.
they are. Yeah. Yep. X-Force number 2. Yes. Yeah, I guess I'm in on a few of these X-Men titles. At least if we'll thin it out as the time goes on,
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm not in on everything, but I guess there's a few here I'm in on. NYX number 2. No.
No.
Are you in on X-Force or
We'll see. I'll see how my list is.
Phoenix number 2? No.
These are freaking awesome covers, though.
Yeah. Oh, you got the Starjammers in here. It's Cyclops' dad there. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I'm out on
Of
Phoenix.
course, Sarah, same. Deadpool team up number 1. Oh, that's coming back, eh? Rob Liefeld's frying it and writing it.
Yeah, he's doing this, and I believe he's the artist too.
What the fuck?
Artist and writer.
That's
Why not get that?
Yeah, you don't see that too often.
Oh, I haven't seen this guy in a long time.
Deadpool number 5. No. Wolverine deep cut number 2. No. And you got some facsimile of the first appearance of Gambit.
Yeah.
Then you got crossover miscellaneous new series here. Predator versus Black Panther. What the fuck? All right. What are we doing here?
Who knows? It might be good, but I'm not buying it. I might read it, but I doubt I'll buy it.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I did like. Well, I liked half of Wolverine versus Black Panther, so I'm probably with you. I'll probably read this. I'll probably read it online. I don't think I'm going to be buying that one. Ultraman versus Avengers or X-Avengers? No.
I'm a fan of Ultraman. I'll read it, though, for sure. I don't think I'm buying it.
Mm. Venom War number 1. You in, Chris?
I might be in just on Venom. I'm not going to get sucked into everything. I'm going to get sucked into a few things, I think, because that's a nice cover, but I think that's a limited one.
Scotty Young. Is this so is this taking Venom's place then, the Venom War? Is that what's going on?
He's still running.
Okay.
That might be like an alpha issue or something like that.
Okay. Venom War. No, this is 1 of 5. Venom War 1 of 5.
Yeah.
Venom War Venomous 1 of 3. No?
Yeah, I think I'm out on. Maybe I'll read it, but
him and Black Widow. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, this is like Flash Thompson Venom, I think here.
Yeah.
This is them as the Secret Avenger. Oh, that's kind of cool. Venom War Zombie. It says what? 1 of 3 Zombiots. Whatever. That's dumb. Venom War Carnage 1 of 3. No. Venom War Spider-Man.
Like this one, I don't know. They say they got the symbiote's going to suit up with Peter Parker.
See, what kind of a stupid fucking Greg Land face is this, Chris? Like, come on now.
He should just stick with what makes him money.
Like, where did you pull this face from? No one's gonna be looking like that flying through the air. Like Venom 36. Oh, they do a Punisher type of cover.
That's a nice cover, though. I like that.
That's the homage to the Amazing Spider-Man Punisher. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, you in on that?
I'm in on that. That's the kind of the issue I'm going to buy out of all of those ones there. Maybe the Spider-Man Venom Wars.
Venom vs. Reborn. Okay, no. Highlighted new series. What the fuck does that mean? Blood Hunters number 1. No. Oh man, I do like fucking what's her name here though.
Is that Cloak or a Dagger?
Yeah, she's in this, and Hollow's Eve is in this. I think this is the writer of the Hollow's Eve miniseries, and so is what's her name here, Elsa Bloodstone, who I'm a huge fan of. Actually, it's kind of fun. Werewolf by Night Red Band. Okay, now this Red Band's going crazy too.
I know. Not a big
Yeah, I think they've this may just be hopefully. Whoa, that's a sick cover. oh, that's a good cover too. God damn it. That's a nice fucking cover. I think that's Jeff DeCal. Yeah, he draws a good Elsa. Yeah. Spider Society number 1. I didn't even know this was a thing. No, I'm out on that. Nice cover though.
Wait, no, that's an art germ. I might be in for that.
That is a nice cover. Yeah, you weren't kidding on the covers this month. There's a lot of good ones. And then the newest Spider-Man, the newest Black, White, and Blood ones, Spider-Man Black Suit and Blood #1.
I might be in on this too.
I think oh, there you go. There's your great land pose.
That's right.
I might read this online. I don't think I'll be buying this. I'm not, as you know, I'm not a huge fan of anthologies. Spidey and the Amazing Friends, no. Chasm, he's got his own miniseries here. Chasm, Curse of Cain.
Maybe I'll read this online, but I'm not getting sucked into it.
Yeah, I do like Scarlet Spider, so that's kind of cool that he's coming back now. Well, there we go. Spider-Man Reign #2. Yeah.
Sure.
Spider-Man Reign 2 #2. Yes, I'm in on that. Iron Fist 50th anniversary special. No, maybe I'll read it online. I do like Iron Fist a lot. Ultimate Universe books. Okay, Ultimate Black Panther. No. Ultimates #3. Yes, for now.
Yeah.
Ultimate X-Men. No. Ultimate
X-Men. It's doing very well, though.
What's that?
I hear it's doing very well. This
Ultimate X-Men. Yeah. You got a tried more variant cover here, which is pretty cool. He's good. I like him. Ultimate Spider-Man 8. Yes.
Yep.
You got Kingpin Sinister 6 now. And then miniseries, Daredevil, Woman Without Fear #2. No.
Sucker the first time.
Namor, yes. Yeah, I'm all in on this. I like this. Infinity Watch. This is the annuals, I think, all crossing over. Yeah, Wolverine annual, Hulk annual. No. I made a Spider-Man office. Amazing Spider-Man 55. Yes.
Yeah.
And JR back on the covers there. Yeah, I'll go with that one. And 56. Yes. Those are good covers, though. Oh, that's nice. I do like that one. Miles Morales annual 1. No. Miles Morales Spider-Man. No. Spider-Gwen the Ghost Spider. No. Spider-Boy 10. Are you still reading this, Chris?
No.
Okay. Venom Separation Anxiety. No. Spider-Woman 10. No. Spectacular Spider-Men. No. Amazing Spider-Man 259 facsimile, and then you got the Secret Wars facsimile, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Classic cover. Giant Size Thor #1. A lot of Greg Land this month. Oh, that's cool. Oh, you got a Walter Simonson cover. That's always great. Fantastic Four 23. Yeah, I'll continue reading it online. And 24. Is this coming to an end? No. Okay. I'll read these digitally. Incredible Hulk 15. No. What the fuck's going on at your desk? He's at the disco. At the roller derby place. Incredible Hulk 16. No. 15 and 16. A lot of double shipping here. Vengeance of the Moon Knight 8. Yes. I'll read it online. Phases of the Moon Knight. Phases of the Moon Knight. I don't know what the hell this miniseries is, but no. Cool covers, though. Doesn't look like it's a Jen McKay thing, so yeah, no. Scarlet Witch #3. Probably just pick up the trade of this. Nice covers. I have been liking Scarlet Witch, though. Oh, there we go. Marvel 85th anniversary special. You in?
Yeah.
That's a nice cover.
Yeah, that's the first one that was good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably in. Oh, and a Scotty Young one. That's pretty nice, too. If you like the baby ones. Doctor Strange 18. Yes. Is it really time to say goodbye? Oh, this might be the end. 18. That's a good point to go to bow out finally. Immortal Thor #14. No. Captain America 12. No. Daredevil 12. No. Oh, you know what's funny? Oh, nice covers though. Christine finally, she's way behind on a bunch of shit. She's finally starting to catch up with Daredevil. She just finished Zdarsky's run, and she started reading this run. And she's like, "This is so bad." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Like that's why it ends at issue 5 in my pile. We've dropped it. Helverine #4. No, I heard this is incredibly stupid. By the way,
okay, good.
I don't even know if the first issue's out, but there's a lot of people hating on this already.
I think they're just trying to sell covers with freaking Logan.
Yeah.
Looking like Ghost Rider.
Get Fury #4. Yes, that's a sick cover too. Ghost Rider Final Vengeance #6. No. And then you get into the Star Wars corner shit. Okay, that's it. All right, some really nice covers that month. Some stuff that's not bad. Some good stuff to look forward to. Not a lot of new things, but I guess a lot of things continuing on that we've been enjoying. A lot of new X-Men, I'll say. And very quickly here, we looked at DC last week, guys. If you want to hear what we had to say about that, it's a quick look here at Image. What do I got here? See if there's anything interesting that jumps out here. New series. Let's see here. Oh, this is returning. I didn't even know that. Cowl 1964. Okay, this is a good series. I remember liking this a lot. The original Cowl that came out years ago. That was kind of like a different take on. It was like unions and superheroes or something like that. I don't know. I remember really liking it. 1964. This might be like a prelude, I guess, to that series. I remember really liking the first one, so that might be something to check out online, if anything. Then just Destro continuing here.
Yeah.
Cool covers. The Deviant, one more issue to go here. Drawing Blood, which was that Eastman and Laird book, which I really enjoyed the first issue. Geiger, Kea, Local Man continuing. Yeah, nothing really that new. It looks like there's a lot of continuation here of older series here. Not much new to speak of, it looks like. You got Public Domain that's back now. Sacrificers. Scarlet. There's been some good covers for this. Transformers. Oh, what's this? Transformers #1. Oh, they're doing a reprint of that. That's cool. The Marvel one. Oh, that's a new Universal Monsters now. Frankenstein. Oh, Michael Walsh is writing it and drawing it. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm in for this. You got me. Violator miniseries. What? I always liked Violator. Void Rivals. All right, that's it. That's for Image. Not much too special there to talk about. And very quickly, Dark Horse, anything here?
They should have the Nemesis stuff in there somewhere.
Let's take a look.
Or some Mark Millar
books, yeah.
They'll be all coming out around this time, I'd imagine.
Yeah, because he's over there now. Let's see here. Oh, this new Scott Snyder book here, Duck and Cover. Him and Raphael Albuquerque. That's an artist he's worked with a lot. I usually really like their stuff, so that might be something worth checking out eventually. 3-issue series, as he's been doing lately. Yeah, I think it was a digital first. Yeah, that sounds good. Magic Order. Oh, this is the 4th or 5th one? Yeah, 5th. There you go. Magic Order, new Magic Order. I love this series. These are great.
You've said a lot of good things about them.
Really good. Really, really good series. And I'm sure this is the final volume, it says here. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is a great jumping in on point, but I'm sure it'll make it accessible because this is its first issue over at Dark Horse. So, that's been great. Nightclub, you get more Nightclub. Prodigy. Yeah, so yeah, he's back with like another 3-4 miniseries like he normally does here over at Dark Horse. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to all those for sure. I read them all digitally just because I always pick up the collections of those because I like all his stuff to add them to the bookshelf. All right, that's going to do it for the new comics solicitations for August 2024. Some good things we're looking forward to reading. Chris, what are you looking forward to reading next week?
Okay, so I think from Marvel, we got Avengers Twilight 6. Black Cat and Jackpot, or Jackpot and Black Cat 3. Rise of the Powers of X 5. Ultimate Spider-Man 5. Wolverine 50. I think I'm getting that X-Men wedding special too. That's probably gonna be garbage. Out of DC. Let's see. Oh, not my, well, we'll see if I get Power Girl or Harley Quinn. I think I dropped both of them, but I'll probably read them if I don't. That's about it. So hopefully it's a small week, but who freaking knows what's showing up in my pile.
Yeah, I got a decent sized week, I guess. I got Batman Dark Age number 3, Harley Quinn 40, Avengers Twilight 6, the conclusion of that. Looking forward to that. Drawing Blood number 2, a new start of a new Rick Remender miniseries called Grommets, which has to do with like skate culture, I think, like in the late 80s or whatever, when it kind of started, or early 90s, around that time. Rise of Powers of X number 5, the conclusion of that. Ultimate Spider-Man number 5, Wolverine 50. I'll be reading online, like Chris said. And I got Universal Monsters Black Lagoon, Creature from the Black Lagoon number 2. Those are all things I'm picking up physically, and might be a couple other things I read digitally next week. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to reading next week there. All right. And finally, Chris, your favorite book of the week, my friend.
Well, surprisingly, there's some more contenders than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to give it to 3 of them, my 3 would have been Local Man, Amazing Spider-Man, and Wonder Woman, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But after talking about it, after seeing, looking over through some of the stuff there, it has to go to Spider-Man for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I would say Local Man definitely up there for me too. That was a good one this week. Just looking at some of the other things here that I may have read digitally. Fall of the House of X was good. Honestly, though, but the true runner-up this week is actually Void Rivals number 9. I thought this was an excellent issue. But, yep, just like you, got to give it to Amazing Spider-Man 50, because, when it's good Spider-Man issues, they usually end up as our favorites of the week. It's hard to say no to my guys.
Yeah, I think they hustle us, though, with this, by giving us freaking, 3 months of double shift JR crap. And then, when something decent shows up, you think it's freaking gold.
Yeah.
But that art was freaking spectacular in there.
I thought it was a good issue. No, I thought it was a really good issue. And like you said, there was other contenders this week as well. Some good stuff when it's all said and done. So there you go. Because I think we've had a couple of lackluster weeks lately. So this was a nice one. All right. But that's going to do it for this week, guys. As always, thank you. Shout out to Chris here. As always, thank you for doing the show here, Chris. Always a good time talking comics with you. And make sure to like and subscribe as always, guys. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you. Later.
Later.